Hello, this is Stephen McNutt from Densemode.com. In this video, we're going to configure an online responder on this PKI server right here. So his job is going to be to take certificate validation requests from client computers and check them against the CRIL created by our RSA Enterprise Issuing CA to make sure that certificates that he's issued have not been revoked. So let's go ahead and get going on that. We're going to hop over to the PKI VM, and it's the usual stuff: add remove features, blah blah blah, select ADCS, add features, a bunch of clicking. We get here, we're going to uncheck certification authority and then check off online responder. Just like that, install, and we'll let it rip. Okay, and through the magic of video, you didn't have to wait with me while this installed. So let's go ahead and configure it. I don't think there's too much we have to do here. Let's go over here, and okay, credentials. Yes, we're going to do online responder, and that was it. Okay, so there actually is more to it than that. There is actually something we have to do that is totally not intuitive, and pretty much the first time I ever did this, I got really frustrated because I couldn't get it to work, and so I'm going to try to save you some of that frustration. So we're going to bring up the tools certification authority snap-in on our RSA CA, our Enterprise Issuing CA, and we're going to right click on certificate templates and manage, and we're going to make a template, well, copy a template. So what we're looking for is this right here. This is the OCSP response assigning template, and it's a best practice not to use the stock templates when you're going to do something. Normally what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the template and then give it some name so later you have a notion of what it is. So that looks pretty good, and we'll click OK, and I did that wrong. Okay. Change names, we can rename it, change that display name there. And this is the part that's super not intuitive. Under the security tab, what we have to do is go to object types, select computers, and put in the computer name of our online responder, which in this case is just called PKI. Pretty straightforward. And then give PKI enroll rights so that he can auto-enroll and create a certificate. Otherwise you'll get errors and you'll be hitting the Google machine up and all that fun stuff. But we've taken care of that here. The computer has the ability to issue a certificate for itself. And now the very last step is to come back over to the certification authority snap-in, because we were in the template snap-in. So we come back here, right click on certificate templates, select new certificate template to issue, and we select our OCSP signing certificate that we just created, or template we just created. So we'll select that. That's in there. Now we can hop back over to our web server and begin the configuration. So there is a tool in here called Online Responder Management. So we're going to select that guy, and we're going to create a revocation configuration. So right click, add revocation configuration, select next, and we'll just call this Densemode RSA Enterprise CA. Next, yes, that's what we want. And then this is pretty automagical now. Just browse. Right now that's the only CA we have installed. Next, and as you can see, it automatically found our template that we created and issued, so that's a good thing. And we can auto enroll because we've given this computer rights to enroll itself, and we're done. That's pretty easy. So as you can see, it's green, we have the happy check mark, life is pretty awesome. But what I want to show you is something that's not so awesome. It turns out in the earlier videos I made a couple mistakes, and it's time to fess up to them. It's nothing that would have broken the configuration. It still would be a working configuration, but I do want to show you the mistakes I made. And the bummer is, of course, if you followed along with me, you'll have made the same mistakes. So I apologize for that. So let's go take a look at what I did. So if we take a little peek here, there is a nice little tool. I think it's called PKI View. See? Nope. What is it called? It's called. Okay, so apparently I can't type, and it is PKI View, but I think I typoed it. So if you look here, you'll see we've got some unhappy things here. So let's walk through what those are. So let's come clean with some mistakes that got made here and talk about what they are. So the first one is this is for the root CA. Since he's an offline root, I never should have defined a online responder for him. That should never. That was mistake number one. And the second one is a pretty easy. It's just I misspelled the. I just need to go rename the root certificate to match up on the web server. So that's no problem. So we can fix that in a minute. I'll just hit the pause button and go fix that. But this just needs to match up. So if you go look here. Up. There we go. So if you take a look under here, when it's looking for the root certificate, it's trying to download the root certificate, the diagnostic tool, which should be called this. Instead, it's called this. So you just rename it. So in this case, it would be Densemode RSA root, or capital letters, Densemode. Probably is not case sensitive, but. I think that's it. That's correct. So we can test it by hitting refresh. Okay, that's fixed. So that mistake was fixed. And then this is the only way you can fix this is we would actually have to create a brand new certificate for the root certification authority, which we're not going to do because, like I said, it doesn't break anything because the clients can still go download the krill. It's just an error. So that's why we have an error status on this guy. So let's go look at this guy and see what's wrong here. So what's wrong here is we're unable to download this AIA certificate. So that should be a pretty easy fix. We just have to go. So let's talk about what happened here. Another mistake that I made was when I set up the extensions on the root certification authority. So let's hop over and look and take a look at this. If you look under extensions, under the AIA extension, okay, so for your online responder URL, you only want to check this guy, right? If you check this, then your clients are gonna think that, oh, this is a location to go download the root certificate, which is incorrect. So that's an error. So what I did was offline is I corrected the subordinate CA, this issuing CA, by going and making another certificate request from the root, and I issued a new certificate for the enterprise CA. So if you go to general, you'll see there's 2 certificates now, and I don't want to dive too much into it, but if you were to go and look at them, you would see that there's differences in that AIA field. So I fixed that, but I wasn't going to make a new certificate for the root. And of course I came in here and I corrected the error in here So that way, when this guy issues certificates, the certificates won't have that error in them, and you won't have this incorrect information in there. So let's go ahead and correct our other error that I pointed out, which is, so this is just a new certificate that I had to issue. Pretty straightforward. I think all I have to do is go grab a copy of that new certificate and drop it in. So we can come back over here and do that. That's him right here. Just grab this guy, copy, paste, Control V, stick that over there. Yep. Okay, and then come back over to our online responder, and it has to be this name. So we have to get, basically we have to take Densemode. Okay, so it's basically the same thing as this. Only with the little, and it's just got the one in parentheses because we issued a second certificate for the CA, and so that's embedded inside the information that from the root when the root CA issued the new certificate. So now if we right click and refresh, okay, we're clean. So we have one error, which is this guy. So we have this bogus information, and it's going to cause clients to try and download the root certificate from this spot, but it's okay because they can still download the curl from here. It's just an error, and I learned a lesson learned. And because I didn't want to burn the whole thing down and build it from scratch, I'm just leaving the error. But in the real world, if you're going to put this in prod, you'd burn the whole thing down and start from the beginning. So this, you can see this PK I've used. It's a pretty nice verification tool. So, but the one that matters for our purposes, which is going to be our CA that's actually going to be issuing certificates, it looks good. Everything's happy. Online responders working. We have verification. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and I hope this was useful for you, and I will see you in the next video.